What up guys, Football Guy FG here, bringing you another video, and in this video I'm gonna talk about the top scorers list and my opinions on the players and stuff like that. You might be wondering why I do this, why I upload this video now, because it's been a while since the Premier League stopped. But my channel is very new, and I thought it would be pretty interesting to make this kind of video. So I thought, why not? If you think it's too late to do this video and stuff like that, just don't watch it. But I thought it would be a cool idea anyway. So let's start this. First place was, of course, Robin van Persie with 26 goals, and that is just really good. Let's click on him here. He is 29 years old now, 183 centimeters. He scored pretty much all his goals in the box, but 3% of his goals were scored by Alone here and 9% here. But most of the goals he scored was in the box. 10% of his goals was on a penalty. Yeah, but he was just a wonderful player in this season. He was amazing in the Premier League and the Champions League. It was a time when Van Persie didn't score many goals, but he managed to score 26 goals anyway. So that is just really, really great. He definitely got a couple of seasons left to still be up there and fight for a position in the first place in the top scorers list. But let's move on to second place. We find Luis Suarez there, the Liverpool striker, with 23 goals, 3 less goals than Van Persie. Let's click on Luis Suarez here. He's 26 years old, 1 meter and 81 centimeters. He scored pretty much all of his goals in the box as well. Almost all of the players high in this list on the top scorers have scored almost all of their goals in the box. But Suarez has scored 8% of his goals here and 8% of his goals here. And an impressive thing is that he did not score one single penalty goal and still managed to score 23 goals. If you remember, Van Persie scored 10% of his goal in a penalty. So that is pretty impressive by Luis Suarez. And it is so much rumors right now that he is leaving the club, about to leave the club anyway, probably to Real Madrid. But he was such an important player for Liverpool this year. But let's move on. At third place we find Gareth Bale, who scored 21 goals, 2 less goals than Suarez and 5 less goals than Van Persie. Let's click on Gareth Bale here. He is only 23 years old, so that is kind of crazy, actually. But as you can see here, an impressive thing here is that he did not score so many goals in the box. He scored 14% of his goals from here and 14% of his goals here. Probably some of those were free kicks, but he did not score a single penalty goal either. But 0% from here, 7% from here, and 17 and 10 there. But that is just really impressive. And it goes a lot of rumors that Bale is leaving Tottenham as well. and you know that would have been really really bad for Tottenham if he left. But one of the most impressive things here is at fourth place we find Christian Benteke, uh, the Aston Villa striker. Three things that he really impressed me in this year is that he was the first one is he was the fourth best goal scorer in the season, and it was his first um, first season in Premier League, so that is really impressive. He came from Genk. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but I think it's Genk, and he came to Aston Villa. So that is one great purchase by Aston Villa, great transfer, and he is only 22 years old. So that is really really great. But as you can see, he scored most of his goals in the box, 16% of his goal on penalty. But that was just so impressive, and he played so good as well. And Van Persie has some great players to pass him and stuff like that. Suarez, not as good players, but still pretty good players to play with. And Gareth Bale, good players to play with as well. But Christian Benteke played with Aston Villa players. I mean, not to be too harsh on Aston Villa, but they don't have close. They're not close to Tottenham, Liverpool, and Manchester United, and still Benteke managed to score 19 goals. So that is really really impressive, and I'm so impressed of that. But let's move on. Then we find Michu here, who's a very interesting player as well. He came from, I think it was who was it? Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but from La Liga for only £2 million. So, and he scored 18 goals in Premier League, his first season in Premier League as well. And he is 27 years old now, and he scored pretty much all of his goals in the box, 6% from here. But almost every single goal in the box. But that was just such transfer by Swansea. I have no idea how they picked him up for only £2 million, and that was just a great signing. But here is another very interesting player, Romelu Lukaku. He was loaned from Chelsea to West Bromwich this season. He started playing pretty much almost every single game in the bench, but then he was just too good to leave on the bench. So he scored almost no, he scored 6% of his goals from here and 12% of his goals from here. So I think that's a really impressive player, and one of the most impressive things about him. Here it comes. 20 years old, only 20 years old, and he was 19 years old last season. But that is just fantastic how he could score so many goals. I'm very impressed of that. But now we are in the seventh position, and this is not. They were not so close. But we have Demba Ba, who almost scored every goal he scored in Newcastle. He has not made a good season in Chelsea. He has not. But he was amazing in Newcastle. Newcastle, but I don't know what he's doing in Chelsea. And Jose Mourinho wants to sell him. And he wants to sell Fernando Torres as well. So that is pretty crazy. But then we have Dimitar Berbatov. He scored 15 goals as well. That's pretty impressive. But here is one of my favorite player in Premier League. It's Ricky Lambert. Things that I think that many people don't realize that he was the top scorer of all the English players in Premier League. Or Lampard scored as many goals as him, but he was just so good, and he did not score all of his goals in the box. He scored 13% from here. I think the most of those were free kicks, because he has, what a shot he has. Seriously, his shots are so OP. Um, but they are where, and he is a great player. And then we have one of my favorite players, Frank Lampard. Um, he got a contract extension by Chelsea at last. Um, he scored 15 goals as well. Probably he scored very many goals from a penalty, but who cares? He scored 28% of his goals from the penalty spot. But look at this, 1% from here, and that is crazy. Not many players scored a goal from there, and then 12% of his goals were scored from here, and 11 of his goals were scored from here. So that is really impressive stuff. And now we have the players who scored 14 goals, and that is Edin Dzeko and Walcott. Walcott is not, we're not used to see him score this many goals, and that was actually pretty impressive. He scored 14 goals, yeah. And then we have on 13th place, who scored 12 goals, was Sergio Aguero, Santi Cazorla, Adam Le Fondre, and Juan Mata, and Wayne Rooney. So we have some interesting players here. First off, Sergio Aguero, who got benched a lot, but he only scored 12 goals. But he's a fantastic player still. So quick, his dribbling skills. He have a great shot, and he is just a great player. But though he scored 2 less goals than Edin Dzeko. And that is actually a surprise, actually. But he is one great player. And then we have Santi Cazorla, which was a great transfer by Arsenal. I'm pretty sure he scored most assists in the league. I'm probably gonna make a video of that as well. But he was just so good, and a great thing about him that he can use his both feet just as good as the other one. So that is just great to do that. But then we have Le Fondre, who made a great season this year. Let's see how old he is. He is. Oh, you can't see that. Oh, yeah, maybe. Oh, that's weird. Can't see that on Le Fondre. That was weird. But I think, actually, I have no idea how old he is. But he was very good this season, and pretty impressive stuff there. And then we have Juan Mata with 12 goals, Wayne Rooney with 12 goals, and we are not used to see him all down there. And with only 12 goals this season, he wants to leave Manchester United now again. And I think United should just sell him. I think this is his second or third time he leaves a transfer request. So why should they keep him? And he did not have a good season at all this year either. So I think it just would be dumb to keep him. And then we have Jermaine Defoe, Marouane Fellaini, and Steven Fletcher. Not so much to say about them. Defoe is probably gonna be sold by Tottenham. Marouane Fellaini probably gonna be sold from Everton. It's most sure that he is going to Arsenal. And then Steven Fletcher, who the fans really doubt in him at first, but then he scored, like, I think it was 100% of Sunderland's goals in the beginning of the season.